All right, so we are in the Acacia Reserve tournament. I started up a brand new account just to do some wind ring and some basic stuff. So like when you first start off, just knowing the absolute basics of wind ring adjustments and how to do that, and picking clubs when you first start getting some clubs, and going through the deal and trying to be wise with your money. How to win more so that you're not having to, if you want to play 3 hours a day, you want to win more during those 3 hours. So, I mean, you don't want to play 3 hours just to win the 16 games that you want to win every day. But I will say this, that if you want to play a lot and you want to be able to upgrade your stuff, you got to have gems. And it's always the elephant in the room nobody talks about is that in order to get gems, you gotta pay for them. So it's not pay to play, but if you want to upgrade your stuff faster, you'll have to have some gems. Otherwise, you don't want to play when you don't have empty slots. But we are playing in this account's first tournament, and I did qualify to get in with I qualified with a -7. And really with these low level clubs and stuff, we're looking for -9, which means that we just get birdies on the par 5s. But if we could get eagles on the par 5s, like that's the minimum score. If we could get eagles on the par 5s and get the -12, I think we'll do pretty good with this account. And I think I made a couple changes to the bags. I was just playing with nothing but the beginner clubs, but I've made a couple changes to the bag, and really the two big ones are the two big clubs is getting an extra mile and getting a firefly, so that I can really help myself out when I'm close to the green. The quarterback will help on some of these holes. It hits farther than the beginning driver. It's a little more accurate. Got the same amount of ball guide, a little bit of topspin. It's not that much different than the beginner club at level 1, but it does hit a little teeny bit farther. So I'm going to, I think on this first hole, I got to lay it up anyways. I'm not going to be able to get over to the green side. I'm not going to bring out a bigger ball. I'm just going to play it with a a white ball. Just a white ball. Let me see. Let me get some marlins. I like having a little teeny bit of access. It is nice to have a little bit of access to side spin, but I'm gonna play with a marlin. A marlin. And I haven't joined a clan, so I only have one bag. The deal with starting to add different clubs into your bag other than just the beginner clubs is that the wind adjustments for them are going to all be different now. So I've had to write down my wind adjustment numbers for all my clubs. And I shot some videos. You can look in my Golf Clash 101, and I shot a video in there talking about how to find out what your wind ring numbers are. Let's go look at hole number 1. So in this account, there's no getting over here with these clubs. So I'm going to bounce from here and run it up to this area and then shoot it straight in. That's what I'm going to do. Here we go. Hole number 1. Busta. It's hot outside. My dogs are out here. We've been keeping them in the house because it's been really hot. I should say it's hot out here right now, but it's a lot cooler than it was. It's like 95, but that's cooler than it was. I don't have much topspin, but I have a little. And we're looking for that second bounce. The second bounce is past the rough, so that'll be good for us. 4.2 divided by, it's 1.5 per ring at this level, so it's 2.8 rings. And I'm definitely downhill. And I haven't really talked about making any adjustments other than just your normal, just making normal adjustments, not worrying about elevation, not worrying about mid club, minimum club. Those are things that we'll talk about as we start to get our clubs a little bit upgraded. It makes a difference, but at this level, it's not going to make that big of a difference. And I still have the basic short iron and long iron in my bag. And a hole like this might make me change my tune. I think there's some red line issues out here with the basic, the just beginner stuff. Now, there you go. Now look at which way the wind was blowing. Okay, there you go. Let's see if you'll make a good wind adjustment. It's about, they did almost 2 rings in it, low level. That was probably an overpull, but it shouldn't really matter because it's a big fairway on the other side. Getting down there all the way to the end would be beneficial because you don't have to worry about trying to be on this side of that sand. And I really don't want to do a rough bump right here. Can I do a rough bump? I don't want to do that rough bump. That rough bump is dangerous as hell. And I have no spin to speak of. .43. It's like divided by 2.8. It's 1.53 rings. And I don't have any curl, but I'm going to lean anyways. Hitting it perfect. And that'll probably go long. Don't go long. Excellent. Just lay it up on the green. Let's not try and get brave or do anything heroish here. The whole thing when you got lower level clubs is just play to the green. There will be times when you can go at it. Now I have a backbone and I could get my backbone, I believe I can get my backbone to level 4. And a backbone might help just a little on a hole like this because I would pick up a little bit of spin. I haven't fully committed to playing with the backbone yet. Let's see if we can get in the hole. Hitting it perfect. In the hole. All right. Minimum score on a par 4 is birdie. And we got a birdie. That's what we're looking for. We just want to, if I pick something up, I pick something up. But I really, other than the par 3s, the whole goal is just to go out and shoot minimum score. That is the goal. And the club that's really going to help me the most today is that Firefly, because there's just so many times that you're just right off the green with lower level clubs, and those shots can be very, you're right there. I want to go look at one of those clubs. Let's look at my long iron. I do have a backbone to level 5. All right, let's pick the backbone. It gives me a little bit more distance, but it does give me a little bit more tools. And I already upgraded it, so I got long iron as a backbone. Make sure I got some numbers written down here. It is 66 accurate, so we're going to count that at 65. So that'd be what, 1.7? And I like 1.7 because 1.7, 3 rings. Here's your center. Here's the second ring. Here's the third ring. From the center out to the third ring is 5.1, and I think of that as 5. So when you're at 1.7, 3 rings is 5. So it makes it easy to work your adjustments. 1.7 is not a bad number. There's a lot of clubs as you go up, like if you start playing with a Guardian will hang out for a lot of its life at 1.7 per ring. Switch that backbone up, and the only ones that I still have left are, I would rather have a level 1 horizon than than to spend the cash to upgrade my Viper. I really just don't want to spend the money to upgrade it. And I'm waiting until because as soon as I get a Kingfisher, even at level 1, I'm going to start playing with the Kingfisher, and I'll play with that Kingfisher until I can get my Hornet up in levels. I'll play with the Kingfisher for a long time. All right. We switched that out. Hole number 2. Hole number 2. Now, I think this is one of those holes that we are playing. It is with a wood. Hole number 2. Playing it with a wood. Ah, no. This hole, even with a bigger power ball, there's no getting over here and trying to take the shot coming up. I'm gonna have to lay it up here and then take the shot. But I don't have any woods in my bag that are gonna be long enough to hit from this area to make it all the way up to the green. So it's pretty much going to be a one wherever I can get up here, either here or here. If I can get in this area, fine. So it's going to take me 3 shots to get on, I'm pretty sure, even if I bring out a bigger ball. A bigger ball is not going to help me. It's not going to help me on the drive because it's not going to be... What you really want is, if you're going to bring out a bigger ball, is you want to try and get over here. And a bigger ball is not going to help me get over there. You can barely get over there with a power 5 ball and a level 9 ball, or a level 9 extra mile, let alone a level 1 extra mile. And if you're here trying to hit over to there, you can bring out a bigger ball and a big dog or a cataclysm, or even if you had a maxed out sniper and you had a level power 5 ball, you might be able to make it from here. But with beginner stuff, you're just not going to be able to make it. Even with a Viper, you're just not going to be able to make it. Let me see what that Viper has. Let me look. I was just looking at the clubs. It does give me a little bit more distance. Let's go look at my Viper. I looked at this earlier, but let me remind myself what the deal is with the Viper clubs. Wood. And I've got enough. How many do I have? I've got 132, so I can get it to level 4. So I can get it into this range right here. I can pick up a little bit of distance, have a little bit of spin, a little bit of curl. All right, you talked me into it. It's not too bad. As soon as I get that horizon, though, I'm going to switch, and I'm not going to upgrade this anymore. How hard can it be to get a horizon? It's a level 1 epic. Come on. It shouldn't be this hard. Now I am broke again. This is what I'm saying about upgrading your clubs. You gotta watch your bankroll. Let's select it. All right, and the Viper is at 51 accurate, so it's 2 per ring. 2 per Viper. So the only club, and really I don't know in this game that the short iron really comes into play that much, but I'm not gonna worry about any short iron until I get my Kingfisher, because the runner at this point is not any better, and it's not going to get better even if I upgraded it to level 2. And I really just like to never play again with an Apache, so I'm going to wait until I get a Kingfisher, and when I get a Kingfisher I'll play with it. Alright, back out on the course. Here we go. Hole number 2. And I only have 1 bag, so let's not screw up this right from the get-go. Let's think about... I'm not sure if I can... This is where being in a clan comes in handy, because... you can get an idea. You can get a second bag. So like I could have a bag right now with an extra mile, and I could have a bag with a quarterback. And you could have 2 bags, and that way you could decide once you get out there. Let me, and I don't think I have any practice tokens in this account. I have 5, look at that. Let's practice this hole once. Let's practice it once with the lower level stuff and see, because I've switched drivers to see if I can actually get, the last time when I played it in the qualifying round, I just shot it straight forward and I just laid it up, and then I laid it up in the fairway on the other side of the sand, and then I shot for the green. But I might be able to bring it over to the right and lay it up on that fairway, and that would help. It's not going to get me to the green though. My opponent's got a level 4 extra mile. And the deal is that a level, there's not enough curl in a level 1 extra mile to be able to bring it over to that fairway. But there is enough curl with the quarterback, but I don't know that there's enough distance. So I'll probably just have to hit it straight forward. Yeah, that's not good. And that's kind of what it looked like it was going to do. Now, the cool news here is that you're unlikely to be able to get on in 2. So they could lay it up and then still achieve their goal. Yeah, there's just no way to get over to that fairway. Now let's see if I switch. No, I don't have another bag. I can't switch. That's right. Give myself a little bit of breathing room there. What is my quarterback? 1.5, so that's right at 2 rings. Dose. And I'm going to lean just a little bit to the left. Hitting it perfect. Just get down there towards the end. I think that's exactly how I'm going to have to play it. You can see my opponent can get over to that fairway, and then they can easily get on. Now, where you'd screw up here is trying to be a hero and make up a bunch of distance. All you have to do is get over to the other side and you can get on the green. Why are you risking, if they hit it great to the left here, they're screwed. They're screwed. Now they are screwed. Now they can't get on. And they could have, and the whole deal is that you can get on. All you got to do is just, you don't even have to hit it very far over there. Shit, you can just lay it up. You can lay it up right here and you'll be fine. You don't have to get all the way down to the end. And if you can get to the end, it doesn't hurt. Okay, my Viper is 2 per ring. And it's a 4-mile-an-hour wind, so it's 2 rings. Get it 1 ring great to the right. Just lay it up. Now this should be long iron. And I'm using a backbone. And I know from playing this hole a bunch that I'm going to do a plus 30 to the cup. I'm going to add on 30% to the wind. So if the wind is 3, I'm going to add on a whole 1. So it's going to be a 4-mile-an-hour wind instead of a 3-mile-an-hour wind. If it's a 1-mile-an-hour wind, it's going to be a 1.33. I'm going to add on 30%, or 1.3. Times the wind divided by 1.7. See what the wind is. There ain't enough topspin on this club to get me up there, but there is a rough bump that you can do from right there. And I'm going to go right at it. 4.2. It's 3.21 rings. Okay, there's 3. 2.5. Hitting it perfect. Close. The par 5s are definitely a weakness when you have brand new clubs. Now, you could bring out a bigger ball, you could bring out whatever, but the deal is that on a hole like this, there are some holes in the game that would work. You could have low level stuff and you could bring out a bigger ball and you could end up getting the eagle. But this hole right here is a tough hole to try and get an Albie on. You can. But even if you have better clubs, upper developed clubs, this hole is still a tough hole. You're still going to have a shot, a long iron shot into the cup. Most of the holes in this game are eagle holes with an Albie opportunity, and this hole is pretty much just an eagle hole. It does have an Albie opportunity, but if you got upper developed stuff, you can work it to get an eagle, but it is a tough eagle. And the best way to play it is fairway to fairway to green. Stay in the fairway. Do not do it doesn't do you any good to take some shot and end up in the rough. It's better just to lay it up and stay in the fairway. All right, hole number 2. Hole number 3. This is the Viper shot. I'm going to take this with the same ball. Viper. Hole number 3. I practiced that. Sorry about that. What did I learn from that? I learned that I'm going to just have to hit it straight forward. That's what I learned. And a bigger ball is not going to help me. That's what I learned from it. If I brought my extra mile out there, I could get down there, but I'm not going to be able to bring it back around to the right because it doesn't have enough curl. And the extra little bit of yardage it's going to gain me is not going to get me up to the cup. I could lay it up closer to the cup. If you look at this area right here where a lot of people are going to be shooting to, up in that area, you do gain more forward distance if you can hit over there, but I'm not exactly sure. And they'll be fine right there, just hitting. They're more than likely going to have to hit it onto that pad, and so that's not going to hurt them. And my little teeny bit of topspin, 4.1 divided by 1.5, 273. If I can get lined up with the wind. Here's 275. I'm going to lean just a little, not a lot, just lean up against, rub the nubs. I'm going to flatten them out. That one ring grade to the right's not cool, but I think I should still be fine. Woo! I saw that shadow. I thought that shadow was the rough. I was like, whoa. That is not good. I think they'll be fine right there, but You start hitting stuff on that particular fairway on the left-hand side, it can really be bad, because once it starts rolling on the left, it'll continue to roll until you just drop off into the sand. Wow, I'm gonna hit over here. Let's see what this shot looks like. Shit, this might be the way to go. I'm gonna be safe. Let's put on all three. And I really don't want to be, so it's Vipers 2.0 per ring. Should be like 1 3/4. How much can I lean? I'm not going to go that far. I'm just going to rub up against the outside of the nubs. Once again, I'm going to rub the nubs. Oh, fuck. And then I hit it 7 rings. Great. 75,000 rings. Great to the right. I could have hit it farther there, but there's a lane right here where I can go straight to the cup and kind of run it up to the cup through this lane. And if I hit it any farther, this sand, I'd have to hit in front of the sand like my opponent is. And so I was trying to, even though I could hit it farther, I was trying to not hit it out of that lane to give me a little bit better shot to the cup. Now this might actually be short iron. Yeah, it's still going to be long iron from here. 1.3 times whatever the wind is. 4.9 divided by 1.7. 3.74 rings. Ah, I'm in my beginner short iron. No, I don't have enough backspin here to keep me on the green. So I'm going to have to hit that. .9 and the beginner is 2.8. 2.8. It's 2.27 rings. Oh, I might be in trouble. Whew, got over that rough. I put that little bit of power on there because I had to pull back to the red line so wide there. And the reason that red line's so wide is if my long iron was at max club, which is 135 yards, or excuse me, if my short iron was at max club, which I think is like 105 or 98 or something like that, then there wouldn't be any, there'd be a 1 second you'd be in the red line and then you'd be over it because your club hits max. But if you have a club that doesn't hit its maximum length, then that red line is thicker and thicker and thicker. It's one of the reasons why with my 77 account and all those, I don't play a lot with a Goliath, because a Goliath is max, hits its maximum distance. So the difference between being in the wood and being in the long iron is like one, you're just moving it around, and if it hits that line, it immediately changes over to the other club. And I kind of like having a little bit of, but that's a little too much. That red line's a little thick. All right, hole number 3. This is the par 3. The first of the par 3s, and I think the way I'm going to play this is I'm not going to dink around with these rough bumps. I'm going to play it from back here and try and just bring it to the cup. And I think I can get this miraculous stuff done. Which way's the wind blowing? Maybe. Yeah, I can get this done with I can get this done with just a... How much spin was I using? It seemed like I wasn't using a lot of spin. We'll try it with a quasar. See if we can get it up there. And I should be in my Viper. And I'm going to do 10%, so 1.1 times whatever the wind is, divided by 2, plus 0.1. I'm looking at my notes for my other account, and these notes may not work, but we'll see. I'm going to do a 10%. I'm going to add on 10% to the wind. So if the wind's 3.2, I'm going to add on 0.32. So I would make a 3.5 adjustment instead of a 3.2. One and a half, 3 side spin. No side spin. You know, you can move the ball to the left as well. They didn't take the wind out, and they're leaning to the right. And they hit it perfect. All right, let's see if we can have a little bit more success than my opponent. And the wind is 4, so I'm going to do a 2.3 ring adjustment. I really want to be aware where that second bounce is, because I don't want to, if I hit a great, I don't want it rolling off. 2.3 ring, or hitting that rough. 2.3. Hitting it perfect. I know it looked like I was way to the left of the cup, but it actually, if I hit it with the right speed, it breaks right there and rolls down towards the cup. It would be nice with these cubs to pick up one of those shots, just get a little lucky. See this hill that's right here, it doesn't just roll and keep rolling straight. It when it engages that hill, it actually like literally falls to the right. And if you can get your speed right when you hit that hill, if you hit a little too fast like my opponent did, it'll just break right through it. It'll just keep rolling straight. But if you hit it with the right speed, as soon as it hits the hill, it breaks down and starts falling towards the cup. That's one of the things that I've always liked about this game, is that it always seems like I've played a lot of real golf, and so when you're out on the course thinking about how you're going to come at a green, that the way that the terrain plays on this, I think the extra wind adjustments and these elevation adjustments and all that stuff is all bullshit. No, it's true, but the way that the game has them in here isn't consistent. But it's true that if it's downhill, it's going to be in the air longer, so it's going to carry more, so you're going to need to adjust it a little bit different. And if it's uphill, it's not going to be in the air as long, and she should make an adjustment. But the deal is that the way that they apply those adjustments in the game is not consistent at all. At all. At all. Did I mention at all? But the way that the terrain works, as far as like your ball rolling off and breaking and doing that stuff, that is actually very similar to how it is in the real world. And that is one of the things that I've always liked about the game. I think in some ways it gives me a perspective, because when I'm thinking about like shots, or if I don't like how a shot's coming in there, instead of like, well, hey, that's the way to go because we always want to hit it as far as we can. No, you don't always want to hit it as far as you can in real golf. You hit it as far as you can in real golf, and you're out in this area right here, and you're coming up to the green, and you got a huge ass sand trap right here, and it's all uphill, and then the green is going downhill like this, so you got to get enough distance to get over the sand trap to get to the green. But if you hit the green with too much speed, you're going to roll off. And so you see a lot of people go out on real golf courses, and they'll go, I'm going to pound that fucking ball way down the course, and they end up in this spot right here, and I laid mine up over here, but I got a clear shot to the green. I don't have any sand traps or any of that kind of crap, and this is a higher percentage shot. Don't be afraid. Hole number 4, what is hole number 4? My notes say extra mile par 5, so I'm assuming it must be a all right, this is a par 4 that we really do need to get. This is a par 4 that can, like, and especially in a low level account like this is a par 4 that It's not as good as the last par 4, but we do have a shot here. Not a good one, but we do have a shot. So if you bring out a bigger power ball, the reason in my main account I'm talking about bringing out a power 5 ball is because if you're in this area here, you can use a power 5 ball and you don't have to do any overpower. You can run your topspin out, and I was using one less than max topspin, so that's like 7 topspin. So here I have a club that hits 220 versus what, 330 or 235 or 237. I think it's somewhere in that neighborhood, 235, 237, somewhere in that neighborhood. So I'm at 220, so I'm already losing 15 yards from distance, and I've only got 2 topspin, so I'm losing 5 topspin. So even with a 5 power ball, I'd have to do max overpower. It might get me up there though. The question is, could I make a chip shot? If I could just get to right in this area right here, I could probably just make a chip. Let's look at our ball inventory. This is always what cracks me up too. When you start playing this game, if anybody like, well, the deal is that you're not shooting videos, so people aren't going to give you shit like they do me. But the thing is that everybody out there has the opportunity to buy special balls, and when somebody, hey, you want to buy special balls, that's up to you. That's your choice. That's the cool thing about it, is it's your choice. But if you buy them, screw everybody else. If they get out on that hole and they're like, well, the only reason you didn't get it because you had that power 5 ball, well, then fuck you then, dude. You go buy a power 5 ball. They had them for sale, and you know what? You were able to buy them too. That's how it works. What do we have for balls? Side spin will really be helpful here. I'm actually thinking that this ball, this is a free ball that we got. This 4 power ball right here might work. Might do the trick. I'm gonna bring my extra mile. I'm gonna bring up my big extra mile right there. Right there. Got that big one. The big boy. This is a hole that a short iron, and I just am not gonna get a short iron that's got any more ball guide than what I've already got, so that's the bag I'm going with. Not that I think that, and here's the thing on this one, is if you end up in the rough, if I end up in the rough, it should be up there close enough that I could recover and still get my birdie. If what is my, oh shit, it's a 3, I think. 4.2, 4.2. I think my extra mile is. And that is Graham. That is Graham. Yeah, I don't know that that's going to help me. But it might. Now, there's no way. That's not going to help me. Yeah, it's going to help me. Oh, that's not going to help me. That'll be in the sand. See what happens when you start doing overpower, and I'm so far away right there, I'm not going to be able to get up on the green. I'll just have to lay it up. So the deal is, that was my mistake. What I should have done is hit off of this hill. I wasn't thinking. I should have hit off that hill. I did have a little bit of curl and a little bit of side spin at my disposal, and if I had hit off of this hill, I could have brought it around and at least been out here in the middle instead of trying to start off on this side. I could have started off on the hill and I wouldn't have had to do any overpower. That was my mistake. That was my bad. That was piss poor shot setup. This is the first time I've ever played this hole, so give me a break. The first time I played this hole today. I've played it a few times, not, I don't know, 100, maybe 100 times, maybe more, probably close. All right, what am I in? I'm in my sand wedge. It's 2.5 per ring. I'm not going to be able to get over, so let's just stick it right where I'm at. I don't need to stick it quite that hard, especially with a headwind. I'm going to do 3, and it's 2.5 per ring, so 3.8 divided by 2.5, 1.52 rings. Oh, jeez. 2 bad shots in a row. I can't believe that didn't end up in the rough. Amazing. And this is a hole that if you got upper developed stuff, you can get on in one and try and go for it. I was on this hole the other day. This is a hole that ate my lunch the other day. And it ate my lunch the other day because I did what my opponent did. I shot over here. But with lower level stuff, trying to approach it was brutal. Because you have no spin. You have no side spin. You have no back spin, top spin. You have no curl. You have no nothing. And it was very difficult to just try and land on the green. Go in a hole. I'd like it. I would have been okay with that. Always root for your opponent. Hell, if they got an eagle right there, that gets me a birdie. I'm going to root for them. Firefly. Okay, there's Max. There's about mid. Do I have enough topspin to get me there? No. Well, I don't have enough ball guide to show me whether or not I'm getting there. That's the deal. Kind of in between mid and max. So it's 2-2. That'd be 3-3. So I'm going to move it 3.5 divided by 3.3. 1.1 rings. I'm going to split the difference. Hitting it perfect. In the hole! Woo! Birdie. Recovered. So the deal there was max club, it's at 2.2, and the way that I work my wedges, and I'm not saying this is right, but if I'm in mid club, I did do 4.4, and I was kind of in between. So I added these two together and took the average, which is 3.3, right? I would not have been able to get that in there with the basic wedge. That I will tell you, of all of the clubs, that Firefly, especially if you hit it perfect, that Firefly is an awesome club when you first start playing. You want to get that club as soon as you can, and you want to immediately put it in your bag. If you don't hit it perfect, you will miss. But if you hit it perfect, that club will go in the hole. Whereas the other ones, you don't have any ball guide, you don't have any control over it. All right, I recovered. I'm still on track for a 12. That's good news. All right, hole number 5. What is hole number 5? Hole number 5. My notes: Grizzly Katana. And here, I want to get over to this zone right here and hit it, but I'm not sure. That's long iron. I've got a backbone. I got a little bit of backspin. I think I can do that. I think I can do that with my backbone. I do have a little bit of backspin, and I think I was using Where's my notes here? I was using 3 backspin. Let's try it. Let's try it. I'm gonna bring out. I think there is a red line issue there, and I'm not sure. I'm gonna bring a katana. Not. Which way's the wind blowing? Yeah, with that wind, I definitely want to push my red line forward. Here's the thing about red lines. Let's say here's your red line, and you got a forward moving wind. Well, you can push this red line forward, like let's say the spot that you want to get's right here, and you don't have room to work out the wind. You can do overpower, but that's not always a good idea, depending on how this shot is. But you can push your red line forward to give you a little bit more room so that you could still set up here and have some room and then work out the wind by bringing out a bigger ball. And I think where I'm at, I'm not sure that I can get there where I'm at. I wanted to start on the green side, but I may have to start on the other side and bounce it over. Even with the katana, and if that's the case, I'm going to drop down to a marlin. But if I can get over to the other side, I'm going to do it that way. My backbone is at 1.7 per ring. Do I have enough room? Hell no. But I do have, if I want to set up in that area, my red line's right there, so it's 3.5. I need 2.3 rings of separation, so I guess I will still hit. Put on just a little teeny bit of topspin. .36. There's 236 exactly. Hitting it perfect. Just off the cup. I did a 15% adjustment there and I didn't quite pull it enough. And that was like 1 and a little bit of topspin. You got to remember, you're looking at the bounces. You got to remember that you're just looking at, like right there, you're just looking at the first 2 bounces. It's going to continue to bounce out after that. So like they're putting on overpower right there. Whew. Damn near hit that rough. That is a tough ass shot with basic with when you first start playing. Those are the shots that bum you out and make you want to quit playing. But if they had a firefly in their bag, they'd be a lot happier. Let's see what they got. They got a beginner wedge. In this situation, you're this close to the green, aim right at the cup. Do not short shoot. Don't lean. It's important to be right in the center of that ball guide down there, and they're leaning up to the left, touching the nubs. And so it will make the ball roll off to the left. I'm not saying that's why they missed to the left, but it will make them roll off to the left just like that. Try and be right in the center. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Am I winning some holes here? Let me go look, make sure I don't. I always want to have. I only won 1. Let's get that ball rolling. All right, hole number. Let me on here. We're on hole number 6. Hole number 6. Let's see what hole number 6 is. Hole number 6 in my notes for main stuff. I actually have changed how I'm playing this, but I don't think I can play this even with an extra mile. With an extra mile and a power 3 ball with an upper developed extra mile, you do have a window right here so that you can come out here without having to do any overpower. And what I'm doing on this, because we're playing the alternate pins, is I'm actually in my upper developed count, I'm playing to right here. because that opens up a straight lane right to the cup, and I don't have to worry about any of this. I don't have to be in front of that in order to get my bounces going. I can start off here in the back and I can run it up to the cup. I don't know that I'll have the luxury of getting into this spot here, just because I don't know if I can get over here. Not unless I brought out a bigger ball in order to get me in front of that. So what I had to do the other day was I shot out over into here, and you know, if you do your arc out from here and you do your arc, you're definitely farther away from here. Now you can get out into this area and run it up, and then you got a short chip to try and get up there and get your eagle. We'll see what the deal is. If I can get out here, I'm going to bring out a power 3 ball. We'll see if I can get out here. If I can get out here, I really don't want to get too far. I mean, if I can get over here, I really just want to get like right into this area right here. That still puts me inside of the arc as far as this area, so it's still a shorter shot, and I do like this angle better, because if you're out here, you're going to have to either bring it out here and lay it up and then go for it, because it's going to be hard to get in front of this. You'll have to put a lot of backspin on it in order to whoa the ball up, or do a rough bump. And I'm not sure I want to do a rough bump. We'll wing it. I know I'm going to bring an extra mile, so what do I got in my bag? I got the extra mile. What kind of ball inventory do I got here? Which way's the wind blowing? That way? I got some of these Kingmaker lookalikes. Let's bring it. Buster! We'll bring a Kingmaker lookalike. The side spin might help me a lot on the drive. Knock it off, killers. And I do need to look at the accuracy numbers on that extra mile. I think it's 3 per ring. I think it's 0 accurate when you first get it, which is not a big deal. Obviously, we'd like something more accurate than 3. The 3 accurate doesn't really make any difference as long as you hit it perfect. It's when you start hitting shit great and you're off to the left or the right. They got a power 0 ball. Now, I will tell you, well, it just depends on what clubs they have for their second shot. They're going to actually like that better. That is a better... you want to be closer to the sand. They're still a mile away, but... Busta? Bro? Okay, so 3.5. It's 1.28 rings. And I'm going to push the forward moving wind back on, which isn't a lot, but every little bit counts. Oh, fuck. That might still be all right. It's the second bounce. As long as I make that second bounce to get out there, that'll be fine. And I actually think I can get up and down on this. The other day I wasn't able to get up and down on it because with a basic club only hitting what, 190 versus 220 at 30 yards is a huge difference. Huge. Now you went through all that work to bring out a low wind ball, which tells me that like you really want to get into the right spot so that you can really go for it on the second shot and bring out a really good club like a sniper or something like that. So bringing out a low wind ball on a hole like this and then having the money club be a big dog, it's kind of a waste of a really good ball. Now I should be in Viper range here, so I was doing... There is a rough bump here, but that rough bump is, and I hit myself just a little too far. 2.4 with my 2.4 divided by 1.7. It's 1.41 rings. Let's not get too brilliant here. I am going to lean just a little. Hitting it perfect. Got to be aware of this second bounce right there, that I didn't curl it so much that it I could have put a lot more curl on it, but that second bounce would have clipped that rough. And the whole goal here is just to try and get an eagle. With these clubs, that's good enough. It would be nice to get an albie, and I think if I hadn't hit that good to the left, I had enough room that if I'd hit it good to the right, I'd have been perfect. I would have had a straight up shot at the cup, but hitting it to the left made it so that I was more out into that the area I did not want to be in. I don't like that angle to the cup. You can see what I'm talking about as far as if you want to go straight at it, you got to get in front of the sand and the rough. Lower level stuff's not gonna help you out. Getting it perfect. In the hole. Eagle. Now this is a hole I did not get an eagle on the other day in the qualifying round. I really wanted to shoot the minus. I knew with the clubs that I had the other day that like -9 would be about as good as I could get, but like I upgraded my clubs today for the first time and changed the clubs in my bag just for this tournament to see if I could try and get with these clubs, just try and get a minimum score of -12. And we got 7, 8, and 9. So far I'm on track. And hole number 8, we definitely have a shot. Even with these clubs, we definitely have a shot of getting the eagle. So I mean that is some low-hanging fruit that we even with these shitty clubs, we have an opportunity. This hole, three and a half backspin. That was with a grizzly. Looking at my this is another one. Let's get some katanas. Get a few selected. And I'm going to use a bunch of katanas. I'm using katanas on 2 holes, so that means I need 10 of them just to get me through the tournament. This is why we do not play with these balls when we're playing out on the course. We play with a white ball or a marlin, and I prefer actually to play with a marlin. I like the little teeny bit of side spin, but we want to save, even saving katanas and quasars, and you do not need these out on the course when you first start. You do not need anything bigger than a marlin for the first 7 tours. All right. Let's take deep breaths. Let me work the numbers in my calculator here. I'm going to do a 60% adjustment. Times whatever the wind is. And I'm in my backbone, which is at 1 point, times whatever the wind is, divided by 1.7. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Getting out on the course, playing some golf clash. But of course, hey, we're the kings of golf. And we're not messing around. Adski from around the world. I'm not sure what kind of luck I'm going to have on this hole. I like this hole, and I like the original pin placement a lot. I've made a lot of hole-in-ones on this hole, but this pin placement right here is not necessarily my favorite. I may do exactly what my opponent's doing and go over there. You can definitely get in some bad shit on this hole. I'm going to do all the backspin. Maybe. Whew. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can not epic fail here. 4.4. Should be 4.34 rings. What's difficult on these holes is it's so downhill you can barely get to your rings. 3.34. Oh, and I hit it great to the right. Go in anyways. Would have been close. Would have been close on a perfect. Even with that crappy little ball guide. I did a 60% adjustment there, and I know that just from playing this hole a lot. I did a 60% adjustment, and it added on 0.2. I did a 60% adjustment times the wind, which was 4.4, divided by 1.7 per ring, and then I added on, which that came out to 4.24 or 4.14, and then I added on 0.2. I haven't been pulling enough. I've been doing 60% and still not pulling it enough, so I added on 0.2. It's so hard to tell on a hole like this because you can't get close to your ring set to make a really accurate adjustment. There are some of these holes, and you can tell when you're uphill and downhill. When you're uphill, you can zoom into your rings to the point where you can count the blade of grass that you're moving to. But when you're way downhill, like on a hole like this, and you're shooting way downhill, you can't get close to your rings at all. You almost need a jeweler's hoop just to see your rings. Hole number 8. All right, if there's any hole in this tournament that I could legitimately pick up and not like steal one, and I'm going to have to work out that one par 4 because I can't be dinking around and having to make long-ass shots in order to recover. But if there's any hole in this game that I can pick up, it's this hole. And the key here is to try and get, with this club, because I don't have a lot of curl, is to get over into this area. Now with my main account, I can bring out a power 3 ball and I can be at my plus 16 mark, and as long as I have forward moving wind, I can take the wind out, run my topspin up and get up there. Let's see if I can get even close. Let's see first of all which way the wind's blowing. That wind's not helping or hurting us. And I think with this club, I'm going to have to, this is one of those things that if I'm going to have to, one of these new balls that I bought will work out just fine. Let's select it. Let's select one of those. The extra mile. All right, here we go. Oh, hold on. I want to do one thing here real quick. I just want to confirm. I've been playing it at 3. Okay, it is at 0 accurate. So at 0, if I can get my pin to work, at 0 accurate, it's 3.0 per ring. I wanted to make sure. I thought that it was, but I wanted to make sure. So I'm doing a 10% adjustment on draw. I'm adding on 10% to the wind times whatever the wind is, divided by 3 per ring. And in my main account, I have an extra mile 9, and it has, what, 8.5 topspin, and I'm doing 1 less than max. So I'm doing 7.5. Here I have 2. So I think I can put on all of the extra topspin. We'll see. We'll see. See if I can just get over. Jeez, I can barely get over. really be nice to have a little bit of ball guide, so I can see if I was going through that gap. I'd really like to hit this with no overpower, and I feel pretty confident that I could make the chip on 3.7. It's 1.35 rings. And that's a little teeny bit of overpower. Little teeny bit. I'm going to rub the nubs. Hitting it perfect. And just try and see if I can get myself up there. What I'd really like to do is get myself up in there in the wedge without getting into the rough. Because now I'm hitting with my Firefly. And the Firefly is the best club that I have in my bag right now. As sad as that might sound, that is the truth. 2.2, and it is this close. The cup is a little teeny bit downhill from where I'm at. I might take off one. It's going to be whatever the wind is, divided by minus 0.1. And I'm going to be at max club. If I'm in my Firefly, I'm definitely going to be at max club. If I'm in my short iron, I'm kind of screwed because I got the, well, I'm not, it's just the basic. Okay, all right. There's max, there's mid, so I'm in mid club. So 3.9, and this is 4.4. So it's 0.78 of a ring. All right, let's hit this perfect. Let's make bringing this ball out worth it. Hitting it perfect. See if I made that adjustment right. In the hole! Woo! So that was a mid club. 4.4 per ring. And the cup is a little, I know it's not close, but the cup was a little downhill. I did take off 0.1. Picked up one. Look at that. And I don't know that I could get any closer. I could have put on a bunch of overpower and tried to muscle it up there, but you take the risk of getting into the rough because I don't know where the ball, I can't see down the course because of the ball guide, and I don't know where it's going to go, and there's a big chance I'm just going to end up in the rough or the sand, and that I put that Firefly in there to help me out on shots like that. In the hole. All right, hole number 9. Now, this hole, the extra mile, is what has changed the deal on this hole, because what I'd really like to have on hole number 9, to be honest with you, is a big topper. Because this is one of those deals where you want to try and hit over here, and you don't really need to put on any overpower with, like if you got a upper developed clubs, you can bring out a power 3 ball and you don't even have to put on any overpower. You can just lay it up out here. And I was shooting for, with upper developed club, like 385 to 390 is where you really want to get. And if you got lower developed stuff, you may not be able to get over here, but you can start over here with a big topper, and a big topper's got 100 top spin, and you can get to that same area with a 3 power ball. But I don't have a big topper. So the goal is I really need to get over to that side. This is one of those holes that this fairway is pretty wide. You can do overpower on it. Which way's the wind blowing here? Once again, not helping or hurting us. I'm gonna take my number 1 bag. And I'm gonna take that Kingmaker lookalike. I don't think I need anything more than that. And I tried that 4-power ball in that one hole, but it did not work. It would have worked better if I would have set that. I did that shot wrong. That was all on me. All right. Let's go. We just need to get an eagle here. There is a rough bump on the end if we can get to the right spot. If I can get anywhere near that 385, I'll be fine. I can do the rough bump, even though my Viper doesn't hit as far as my sniper that I have on my other account. I'm at mid sniper, so it's not, I still have lots of room. You just got to get out to the 380, 385 range. Times whatever the wind is divided by 3. They've got an extra mile 4 with a white ball, and they can get over to the other side. So with a 3-power ball, I should be able to get over to the other side. Now, they probably have a little bit more raw distance with the level 4 than I've got. Maybe. It's the second shot here with the white ball. Like, you might be able to get to where you want with the white ball on the first shot, but the second shot could be difficult. Let's see what kind of distance they can get. Yeah, 331, and you want to be at 385, 380. Give myself as much room as possible. 2.3, it's 0.84 of a ring. Hit it one ring great to the right. And I did not, that's not far enough. I won't be able to get up there. 334. Yeah, and they got a big dog. And it is super difficult to try and hit off of this fairway and get it back up in there because of the way this fairway sloped. Everything's wanting to go off to the right. And it's, you really got to have curl and side spin and a bunch of stuff in order to bring it back around to the other side. If I could get into that area, then we could give ourselves a shot. And with our Firefly, we could pull our Firefly out and at least have a shot at it. There's no, so you can see what I'm talking about, trying to bring it over here. .5 divided by a 1.7, 1.61 rings. Hitting it perfect. We'll see if we can curl it, have the side spin just to bring us up on the green. There we go. There we go. That you can't get that done with the beginner wood, but the Viper was just enough. I was shit talking the Viper earlier, but I guess it was just enough to get me on the green. That hole would have been a great hole for that topspin boost ball. Because with a Power 5 ball and topspin boost, I would have been able to get up there and I would have the rough bump. I wasn't that far off from having the rough bump as it was. And there is a really nice rough bump that you can take there. All right, I still got some work to do. I'm a shitty putter, so we got to make sure we let's not count our chickens until our eggs until or don't count your chickens until your eggs hatch or whatever the hell it is. In the hole. All right. I achieved my goal. My goal was to get minimum score, and I got everything that I wanted to get out of that Firefly today. That Firefly saved me on the one par 4, and did I not? Did I thought I shot a 13. I could have swore I shot a 13. The first par 5. Yeah. Okay. Now it's all becoming clear. I didn't get the first, whichever one of these is it's the second hole. And that hole, I don't think, that hole with these clubs is a birdie hole with an eagle opportunity. That hole is just, that's going to be the deal. But picking up hole number 8 is going to be critical to get me back to minimum score. Because I don't think there really isn't anything that I can think of that I can do on hole number 2. Even if I brought out a bigger ball, it might help me a little on the drive, but the second shot, I just don't know that there's any way that I'm going to be able to get that done with the clubs. I don't have the driver to get me over into the right spot to have even a shot on the second shot. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get anything there, but picking up that hole number 8 and getting me back to minimum score was definitely huge. Not sure what's at the top. Not everybody's played in this bracket, so we'll have to see like what the scores are at the top. I have no clue what's up there, but playing in rookie 1 with, you know, most of these people are probably, this is the funny thing is that people see my clubs that are in my 77 account or my auto account, and I play rookie, and are bitching at me about playing with those clubs. The people that are in my bracket have the same kind of clubs as me. I'm not down here playing in this bracket with newer people. So if you've got low trophy, and that, hey, here's the thing. This person's got 253 wins and the kind of clubs that they have, but I can guarantee you if we went through everybody that's in this bracket, there's probably somebody in here that's maybe not played in tournaments, waited until they got their clubs up, and that person's got 567 trophies. How many games have they played? They played 141. So they've been moving up the scale in order to get those trophies. So every time they win in those 88 wins, there's probably a lot of those wins that are in Tour 4, Tour 5, maybe Tour 6, and so they're getting better clubs, and there's pretty much everybody in this bracket should have better clubs than me. But part of the deal that's saving me is that I have the force called the wind ring method, and just knowing how to adjust for basic wind is a huge deal. Huge. Thanks for watching. Hopefully everybody, hopefully if you're new, I'm doing these videos. I still have my 77 account to play. I may play it today. I may play it tomorrow. And what time is it? I gotta go make some dinner. When I'm done, I'll come back out and play the back 9. I'll probably play my 77 account tomorrow. But if you're new, hopefully these are helping to get you excited. One of the things that I would recommend is joining a clan, so that as you start to get clubs, you could have several bags with different drivers, just in case you get on a hole and you want, you know, you got a big topper, you got a quarterback, or you got one of those clubs, you could switch them out. You're all welcome to the Kings of Golf 2, 3, and 4, I think. We'll take anybody who's beginner. You don't have to, you just ask to join and you're automatically put in. So if you're interested, you can always join a clan. You can join any clan you want. You can start up a clan. I would recommend, if you're going to join a clan that is going to give you more than one bag. So start off in a clan that's got more than one bag. I think all of our clans are in the Masters level, and we just hang out at Masters 1, Masters 2. We're never going to be any higher than that because we're not grinders. We don't play enough to get up, but we play enough in tournaments that everybody, we have enough score to keep us into the Masters ranking. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. If you're not a subscriber, hit subscribe. Hit the bell if you want to get notifications, and hit like if you like the video. If you don't like the video, don't hit the like. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and have fun.